Good morning to all of you. Welcome to this workshop. I am Manohar Behrani, currently serving as the chairperson of CSR committee of the AISCCON. This is the ad memoir of the 3-day CSR workshop which was conducted in Hyderabad, and the motivating factor has been the late Shri V.K. Badaneji, the past president AISCCON. The workshop was organized with the efforts of the Mr. P. Ramachandria and his entire team based in Telangana, plus the guiding torch by late Shri R.N. Mittalji, the past president of AISCCON. The workshop has the basic background information of more than 1 decade that was prepared by late Shri R.N. Mittalji and addressed by Shri M.K. Rainaji, who is the present president of AISCCON. It also has the background information, purpose, and the CSR developments, plus the insights on the section 135, schedule 7, which was given by Mr. Sarvesh Gupta ji. Now, we also have 3 outside faculties. One, Ms. Praveena. She has more than 3 decades of experience in the NGO sector and the corporate CSR sector. Dr. Ramesh from the National Institute of Rural Development and Policy Analysis, and Mr. Rajeshwar, who has been heading the livelihood mission in the Helpage India. With having said this, I would like to mention my current teammates in the CSR team, and they are Mr. Suresh Palge ji and Sarvesh Gupta ji from Uttarakhand, Shri Madan Lal Khator ji from Rajasthan, Shri S.R. Chakravarti ji from West Bengal, Shri Nageshwar Rao ji from Andhra Pradesh, and Shri Lahu Aware ji from Mumbai. All of you are welcome to connect to us anytime if you have any queries in the process of CSR grants. The easiest way would be to connect through Mr. Aware, who is based in Bombay and well known to all of you. At the end of the tutorial, we would request you to remember 3 things. One is the prerequisites for registration of your organization with Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Ministry of Social Justice. The second is the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has a very good website, csrexchange.gov.in, which is a dynamic website, so you have to keep on watching it, maybe at a regular interval. Plus the corporate houses also has a process of putting the tenders and CSR policies in their website, so it would be great to look at these websites maybe on a weekly basis. The last but not least is you have to make sure that your organization, either as an NGO or as a trust or as a Section 8 company or any other option which is acceptable to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and you become the CSR implementer, not only the NGO who is seeking grants from the Ministry of Social Justice. So that is very important. And in this whole process, we have been getting the back-end support from Shri Srihari ji, who is Secretary General. Please note that we will be also handing over to you a 2-3 page handout after this tutorial, summarizing some of the points, so you don't have to make any notes. A very careful listening to the tutorial would be great for us, all of us. We wish you all the good success in securing the CSR grants, and we are available to you whenever you wish. Our help can do the value addition. All the best. Have a good time.
And now, if everyone settles down, I request the chairperson AISCCON, Mr. Bahrani, to give us a brief outline of the program. Thank you.
Okay. Dignitaries on the dais, my kind-hearted fellow senior citizens, and the young hearts present here. Today, let us celebrate our aging, because what's really happening is that the current lifestyle evolution of all of us is getting influenced by the improvements in the medical sciences, the changes in our demographies, like widowed families, and then the influence of the artificial intelligence. All these three things are forcing us that we should celebrate, we should live longer. And I don't know how many of us know that the Spain way researchers are now researching how to stop the aging of the body so that the death becomes optional by 2047. So these are the researchers who are thinking that the life transition is not necessary. So kindly think. But when the life expectancy goes up, then we invite a lot of challenges along with us. One way is to celebrate it, another way is to groom ourselves for the changes. And if we don't groom ourselves for the changes, we will become an obsolescence level. And if we become obsolescence level, then the load on the welfare fund will be so much that the young generation will not be able to sustain. Because when my grandfather wanted a help, we were waiting 4 or 5 people to give help because every house had 7 to 13 children. And today, when I am grandfather, I have my grandchildren available only on WhatsApp or Facebook call. So we have to surely address the challenges also and continue celebrating, enjoy the fruits, eat the apple, increase your longevity and challenge the death itself. With these words, while grooming, we have to also remember that we are all matured. Our mind is full of knowledge. We have already reached the abundance of knowledge in our mind. So put more knowledge is little difficult. Because we ourselves, each one of us think that I am authority in whatever field I have. So in a loaded brain, to put something is very difficult. But what we can do is, with the existing knowledge, if we can ignite it to find the application and use it in the present life for intergenerational benefits, then possibly we can ignite the knowledge. So today's workshop, we are aiming at to ignite the knowledge. Now, when we ignite the knowledge, first thing is to understand what is our level, where we stand today. I really do not know how many of us know that what is the bandwidth of AISCCON. We all talk about AISCCON. We talk about affiliates. We talk about 3 million people behind us. We talk about hundreds of schemes. But then what is the band range? We have the people accessible who are totally living on charity, which are totally destitute. And we also have the people who are enjoying the pension 1 lakh rupees plus. And we also have the senior citizens who are sitting on the empire of wealth in millions and billions of dollars. So what AISCCON is and what really we want to do? What we want to do in this CSR workshop is to ignite the mind of everybody. That those who are physically sound, those who are mentally strong, maintaining the active aging, they should look for those people who have to work for their lifetime, who are economically deprived, and they are in unorganized sector. So we have to address our mindset, ignite our mindset to touch upon the unorganized sector. Because all the benefits, leave cashment, professional days, more car allowance, etc., all these doesn't apply to them. And these unorganized people control the more than 60% of our GDP. So the people who are working the highest for our community and giving us the highest support. For example, a caregiver at our home is under highest surveillance. When somebody comes to, sweep in the house, all the 10 members of the house look at that whether she is or he is doing sweeping properly or not. So a lowest paid employee under highest supervision and a highest earning employee without supervision sitting on billions of dollars. So first point to ignite the mind is, when you start making certain schemes, when you think of making some concepts, first list down who are the deserving senior citizens in your mind. That is the start of the one. And that is why we have written in this backdrop also that workshop is aimed at applying the collective intelligence. So intelligence has to come from the ground, which you people are there in the audience, and we have to harness that for the benefit through the CSR revenues for the well-being of deserving senior citizens, not all senior citizens. We don't have to worry about Ratan Tata ji or Amitabh Bachchan ji. We have to worry about what we think are the deserving. This is one part. The second part is, how many of us know that which organization I represent? Do I know the dignity of AISCCON while talking or while interacting? Every time should I say सब चलता है या कोई बात नहीं, ये तो होता ही नहीं है? Is it our organization? Or please raise the hands, how many of us know that AISCCON is enjoying the status of a consultative body in the United Nations Economical and Social Council? Please raise your hands, how many know it and what is the meaning of that? So out of 70 people, only 2-3 people are raising hands. That means we ourselves do not know what is the dignity of AISCCON in the global platform. The consultative body of the United Nations in Economic and Social Council, the AISCCON can present their viewpoint as a voice of 3 million seniors into the United Nations proceedings which happen in United Nations. That is our potential, and we can depute 5 people there. The United Nations can also engage the services of some of the competent AISCCON people to monitor the projects in various developing countries. Like if we have a knowledge, if somebody has a knowledge, the ECOSOS can pick up that expert and say what is happening to the poverty alleviation funding of $200 million given to Cambodia. Please go and check. And they will pay you not volunteer, they will pay you $400 per day plus business class airfare. How many of us know that? This is the kind of ignorance. But I am sure that out of 3 million people, we must be having at least 100 people who can surely earn $400 per day and a business class fare to examine what is happening to the poverty alleviation in Cambodia or Thailand or Vietnam or whatever. So please have in your mindset, what is AISCCON and what is its potential? Kindly raise the level and ignite your mind to that level. And when you interact with this kind of mindset, your thought process will totally change. So that is the prime objective of this workshop. Next slide, please. Now, the second point, what I want to say here is, this workshop, when we talk of CSR, we also have to change our mindset from charity and welfare to well-being and CSR. The charity and welfare schemes are the load which we get the money by the emotional mindset of the organization or a person or a high net worth individual. And the charity money comes to us, we spend that money for something, and then there is no reporting, there is nothing, and then we are happy, wait for the next charity. So we get 1 lakh rupees, we spend 1 lakh, again we get 5 lakhs, we spend 5 lakhs, then we forget it. So everything we keep on forgetting. Now, when we talk of CSR, it is purely a business organization. When you go to a business organization, he has certain aim and objective. He has to survive in the competitive scenario, and he has certain vision and focus and policy for CSR. So we have to align with that policies and bring out the projects which really can attract the CSR funding and meets their objective also. And you also have to be responsible to own that project for a longer period, because it is not a project that just arrange nutrition for 100 people and then forget and collapse and go. So that is not the situation. So that is the second point which I would like to say, that we have to shift our mindset if we want CSR money. The third point is, on this CSR, we have called it as a workshop. So after the inaugural session, we are only going to work. We are not going to, give addresses or lectures. We will have to work. And how we are going to work is, we will make the working groups just after this inaugural session of 7-8 people from different states, and we have to mix. It is not that all the people 12 coming from Andhra Pradesh have to sit together. No. We have from 7 states people, so they have to all intermingle each society, and each of the group has to select his coordinator or a leader who is going to write down in consultation with the rest of the members, prepare a concept, and before you leave, we would expect the concept notes from each of this working group. And what we expect is that these 7-8 groups should be able to bring out at least 4 or 5 good promising concept notes for the state level, and maybe 1 or 2 concept note for the central level. Now, how do you think about it? I will give you one example. My one example is, when I was in childhood, in 1960s or late 60s, that time it was a industrialization boom in the country. Everybody was talking of the core industry, heavy industry, like BHEL, like steel industry or zinc or metal or car. So everybody in 1960 all over the country was talking about the industrial growth on the core industry. And from 1990 onwards, the IT sector took over. So the main industry of 1960 was going on the background and IT was coming on the front. Now, the example which I want to give is, each of the state created a industrial training institute, at least 150 to 200 in most of the districts in each states. And those industrial training institutes were having lathe machine, milling machine and those kind of things. So people were getting trained and they were getting job in the industry. 30-40 years later, all those industrial training institutes have become obsolescence level. And there are more than, if you take all number of states and 200 in everywhere, so it comes to 7,000 to 8,000 ITIs in the country. So why have we not reformed those into a caregiver university through a open university like Indira Gandhi IGNOU? Why? Because today the seniors need a caregiving community more than the core industry. The core industry is not the requirement of today. The requirement of today is IT and the requirement of today is healthcare. So why not those infrastructures which are existing already in 7,000, 8,000 places of the government? Can AISCCON give a proposal that I will work out a caregiver training program for the entire nation, for all the 7,000 districts where the ITI exists, and incidentally AISCCON also exists in most of the 7,000 places, and here is my proposal of 200 crores. And give it to CII chairman with Mr. Shekhar Reddy, his recommendation on it, and then see what happens. See what happens to the country. Because why I am saying this kind of a thing? Because my mind is working that I represent a company which is having a consultative status in United Nations. So this is the minimum thinking my starts. From there, I mean 200 crore plus. Below that my thinking gets sunk. And why it is so? Because the young generation is also not thinking that whatever IT and whatever WhatsApp and whatever this you are enjoying today, how you are enjoying? You are enjoying all email IDs, WhatsApp and everything you are enjoying. But how you are enjoying? You are enjoying because the today's senior citizens, 40 years back, they were working to send the satellites in the outer space. And now those satellites are, 200 satellites are moving and orbiting around the earth. And I have worked in a company like Macon who engineered the Sriharikota launch pad engineering in 1990s. How to tell the younger generation that you are indebted to these senior citizen people who have shown your way, who have sent the satellite in the outer space, and that is how you are enjoying the WhatsApp today. We have no room to say that. We have no place to say that. What we are saying is, बुढ़ा हो गया, जाता नहीं है.
Mr. Raina, I invite you to the dais. Kindly conduct the presentation prepared by Mr. Mittal. Okay, okay.
Good morning. I am M.K. Raina, and I have the privilege of being asked by Mr. Mittal, who is sitting here on the dais. No, he doesn't need any introduction. He is well known nationally. The person who has been working for years for the care and welfare of senior citizens. He is an inspiration, and he has directed me to present his paper here. So I start. Well, we start with the CSR concept. I will explain wherever there is a need, but I will otherwise go through it. The general assumption in our country has been that the care of the elderly is the responsibility of the family and not of the society or the government. Because in our families, our ancient tradition was that take care of the elders. But things have changed. That is why institutions associated with old age, such as old age homes, daycare centers, nursing homes for the elderly, etc., were not very popular. Though there was no need, because we were in the house, we were taking care of the elderly. There were so many people to take care of the grandfather or something. But circumstances have changed. Families have gone, the joint families are broken, nuclear families have come, बच्चे इधर उधर हैं. That's why the institutions, but circumstances have changed, and this responsibility has now fallen on the administration as in other countries. It is happening in other countries also, and slowly it has come in our country also, where also some people are being taken care by the grandchildren or children, and some are not, because children are either abroad or working in different places like Bangalore, Hyderabad or any places, or they are in the army, they are in the jobs. Children are not available in the house. So society has to take care, the government has to take care. Please go to the next slide. What happened? अच्छा नहीं ठीक है. I can talk. ठीक है. अगर टाइम लग रहा है तो I can. हाँ ठीक है. Come to that. Mittal साहब. हाँ. Go to the next now. अच्छा, yes, this is okay. There has been a study by UN. They wanted to see what is happening about the well-being of older persons. And there is unfortunately a concern that out of 191 countries, our India was placed at 73. So that's not good. That means our elderlies are not being taken care of. So it is something like Afghanistan, where there are very limited facilities. So there is some thought we have to take care. Who will take care? We have to first raise our own concerns. We should be bothered about, then others will take care. Around 2012, the concept of CSR was being talked about. We were very hopeful that all our needs will be solved under the application of the proposed CSR concept. It was as early as 2012. And after that, the Act came. In 2013, the Companies Act was amended. Section 135 defining rules for CSR was added, but it did not mention the needs of a senior citizen. There is an annexure saying what are the areas where CSR should be done. Healthcare, education, women, so many things. But elderly citizen care was missing. So it was only, next slide please. So it was, what happened when Mr. Mittal, he was the president of the AISCCON that time, there was Helpage, there were many others. So they went to the government and we in AISCCON and Helpage had to mount an agitation, and finally Mr. Sachin Pilot, Minister Corporate Affairs, agreed and an amendment to the Companies Act was issued on 27th February है ये यहाँ पर mistake है, including some of the elderly care problems. So ये बाद में मित्तल साहब एंड अदर्स वर्कड हार्ड तो अमेंडमेंट किया गया और उसमें एल्डरली केयर का ओल्ड एज होम्स एंड डे केयर सेंटर्स हैज बीन इनकॉर्पोरेटेड. It may be of interest to know that out of around 15 crore senior citizens, 70% belong to BPL category. Below poverty line में 70% है और close to 30% of them are so poor that they cannot afford even 2 meals a day. देखिए यही तो कैटेगरी है हमारा. यहाँ अच्छे भी हैं, बहुत बहुत बिल्कुल जिनको खाना भी नहीं मिलता ऐसे भी हैं. देयर आर ऑल्सो द रिटायरीज. अब देखिए अभी बात हो रहा था, पेंशन है किसी को 1 लाख भी मिलता है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का है 1 लाख भी मिल रहा है. और देयर आर पीपल, आई एम ऑल्सो अ रिटायरी फ्रॉम द हैविंग वर्कड अबाउट 40 years in the public sector, still drawing 1200 rupees pension. So this is also a problem where we are having some people good pension, there are people who are not having a pension at all. They are the retirees of the unorganized sector of economy, which or there are unorganized. अब जो बेचारा काम कर रहा है, दुकान चला रहा है, उसका कहाँ पेंशन है? And they contribute 62% of the GDP. This is the tragedy. The unorganized sector is contributing 62% of the GDP, or there is no care. They are thus our real bread earners, but they starve when they become old. वो बेचारे बूढ़े हो जाएं, कोई केयर ही नहीं, अटेंशन नहीं. चलिए next. In 2007 we got the Parents and Senior Citizens Act. Parliament issued mandates to build an old age homes in every district having a capacity of 100 to 150, and to set up health care units in every mandal, geriatric wards in every hospital, regular diagnostic checks and many other such facilities to enable our elders to live a life with dignity and purpose, which is their constitutional right. Actually 47, when we got the constitution, that time there were not old people many, because the age was not that longevity was not that time. But still they have put in directive rights mein that care of the old should be taken. So it is there, and as per that this act was 2007 was, intention was good about this 2007. There is a mention that each district should have a old age home, there should be geriatric centers, and there should be lot of care, security, safety and all those. But on the ground, what has happened, that is very sad. According to a PIL before Supreme Court, there are only 137 old age homes supported by government against the mandate to have 730 of them. We are having about 730 districts. So 730, as per that act, 730 old age homes should have come up. But what has come up is 137. One in every district, that is 600 more to be built. Same PIL also demands healthcare facilities to be set up in rural area. कुछ तो हो गया है, कुछ चैरिटी केयर सेंटर्स आ गए हैं, बट अभी रूरल एरियाज में जहां पर हमारी मेजॉरिटी ऑफ सीनियर सिटीजन्स हैं, पहुंच बहुत कम है. So that needs to be done. This was in the PIL given to the Supreme Court 2018. Then the government of India has found a roundabout way to ignore the judgment. मित्तल साहब का यहाँ पर प्रेजेंटेशन में बहुत अच्छा लिखा है. गवर्नमेंट ने कर दिया जो कुछ सुप्रीम कोर्ट का डिसीजन आ गया, उसके कुछ बना दिया इधर उधर कहानी. हमने जी ये किया, देयर इज समथिंग लाइक some schemes have come up, but main thing is not happening on the ground. The court also seems to have given up bothering to ensure the implementation of the judgment for which they earlier proposed to issue mandamus. So where in 2018 when Supreme Court was very serious, now they seem also to have ठीक है चल रहा है, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट को ज्यादा परेशानी नहीं, सोसाइटी भी हम भी जागे नहीं हैं, तो क्या परेशानी है. So there is not much botheration. The largest share of the CSR investment which we received for elder care was in 2013-14, and it was around 1% of the total, which you see in the following. अब when the whole CSR Act जो आ गया, it started in 1st April 2014. उसका उस 13-14 में जो ये CSR का इन्वेस्टमेंट हुआ था, फंडिंग हुई थी, तो उसमें एल्डरली केयर का 1% था. 1% means अगर 8,000 crore, say for example 8,000, so we got say 80, is it? 8,000 का 1%, 80 crore out of that. So very little. But there are some, that time also it is education, health, community development, environment, water, this, that, but not the elderly care, because elderly care is not known. That is why this workshop is important. This is the problem. Chale, next slide. Now almost nil CSR contribution. At least 1% was in 2013-14. When we go to 2016 and 17, that means after when CSR funding is going up, it is going from 8,000, it has reached to 25,000 crore. But what has been for the for the elderlies, it was almost nil. After a year, this, instead of increasing the share of the age-related projects, went on reducing steadily, so much so that in 2016-17, it was less than 0.1% of the total investments. It was the least favored social issue. That means donor, implementer, or mangne wala, we demanding. Everywhere elderly is missing. It is not only one, it's not all the three places. These are three components में missing है. So least favored है. Elderly का कोई किसी को चिंता नहीं है. So that we will come to know again further. चलिए सब next. In year 2020-21, it was not better, being around only 56 crores out of total investment of this. Now you see, from 13-14, it was only 8,000. From 8,000, funding has gone up to 25,000. That means this 25,000 crores were given to the people for industries के surrounding में social objectives के लिए 25,000 crores were spent. But how much was given for elderly was 56 crore. The total CSR investment is increasing every year with more corporate houses contributing to it. A few major problems have been noted. अब यहाँ पर observation है. Mittal Saab wants to know what is happening in this. Although it is good, we must appreciate that CSR Act is one which is giving the dividend. Money is going without asking. पहले तो टाटा बिरला के पास जाना पड़ता था, सब मंदिर बनाना, ये ओल्ड एज होम बनाना, ये बनाना, किसी को रिक्वेस्ट करना. अब फंडिंग एज पर लॉ आ रहा है, 2% कंपनीज हैव टू स्पेंड. But what is happening, it is just, that is the point he is trying to make. The proportionate investment in elder care projects has been very, very low. बाकी जगह में बहुत है, but elderly care के लिए बिल्कुल कम है. Second point, there has been overwhelming support to social sectors, namely health and education. It's a very easy. क्या करना है, CSR करना, चले सब बच्चों के लिए कर दें, स्कूल के लिए, एजुकेशन के लिए करें, हेल्थ के लिए कैंप करें, ये करें, वो करें. ये बहुत इजी है और इसी में पैसा आ रहा है, फंडिंग इजीली हो रहा है. I will tell you example of my company. We wanted to do something about this CSR. तो जो हमारी चेयरमैन है, लेडी है, she said no, I want a school, children, girls school, and I want to give them all the toilets and all that. It should be very good thing. So it is easy. Go to the education, go to the health. But nobody talks about the elderly. It is just out of mind. Second, there has been overwhelming support to social sectors, namely health and education, at the cost of other deserving causes such as the welfare of disabled. हम तो सिर्फ elderly की बात नहीं करें, disabled में भी नहीं गया है, widows को भी नहीं गया, senior citizen को भी नहीं गया. चलिए next. Some states are receiving much higher investment than others. अच्छा, this is the another observation Mittal Saab wants to reflect. One was that CSR funding is going for education, health, rural development and all that. But the other is that it is only going to few states. Let's see, the investment per person is a fair indication of CSR support to that state. अगर हम देख लेंगे per capita कितना funding आ गया हर state में, it's a good indicator to see कि हर state में कितना per capita आ गया. So what we see is states are divided into 6 groups on the basis of CSR support. States like Bihar, Mizoram, etc. are getting less than 10 rupees per person. अगर हम per capita देखेंगे तो मिजोरम में 10 रुपया ही मिलता है एक आदमी को, या बिहार में. Whereas अगर हम गोवा देखें या दूसरा महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, तो there is as much as 200 rupees per person. तो ये इंडिकेटर है, दिस इज एन इंडिकेटर कि कैसे ये डिफरेंट है. सम स्टेट्स लाइक महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, कर्नाटका हैविंग गुड फंडिंग, व्हाइल द अदर स्टेट्स, जो भी रीजन है, रीजन वी विल एक्सप्लोर, बट दे आर नॉट नोइंग, दे डोंट नो व्हाट इज CSR फंडिंग, दे आर नॉट गेटिंग इट एट ऑल. This will lead to unequal development, which was not the objective of the CSR concept. Mittal Saab wants to say, bhaiya, if it is going only in few states, that was not the intention. Intention is that it should go all over the country. So here he has given the diagram of this showing different states. See, the example here is Bihar, Mizoram is only having 10 rupees per person, while as it is say Himachal, Telangana, Daman, Diu, Karnataka, it is 151 to 200. Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Uttarakhand, 150 rupees, 101 to 150. So some states are good, some states are very, very less. Nagaland, Tripura, Jammu, Kashmir, Manipur, Meghalaya, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, West Bengal, very low. So this needs to be corrected. We need to make a change on this. Chale, next. The causes concerning health and education are getting overwhelming support. The real reason for it is not clear, but probably it is because most of the registered NGOs have the background of working in this social sector. Now Mittal Saab wants to say that we don't know exactly why, but he feels that NGOs in these states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, who will implement? When you will see, we go through the workshop, we need an NGO to go and get it or implement it. So where are the NGOs active who can really implement? That those NGOs are presently in those states. That is why they are drawing the more money. They are registered with MCA also as implementing agents. There is a requirement. अगर हमें CSR funding लेना है, we have to get registered with Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So people have to know, this education has to be, this awareness has to be there. अगर हमारे पास awareness नहीं है तो हमें पता नहीं लगेगा क्या करना है. So हम बोलेंगे क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है. But CSR फंड ऐसा नहीं है जो फार्मर्स को प्राइम मिनिस्टर बटन दबाता तो उसके खाते में जाएगा. नो, CSR के लिए हमें मेहनत करना है, प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट बनाना है, प्रॉपरली प्रोसीजर फॉलो करना है, देन इट विल कम. That is the problem here. They prefer to execute projects in the same field. This is obviously undesirable because of shortage of implementing agents. Their choice of cause and even state's UT may dominate. So that is the reason. It is just that some section is knowing, so they are, जिनको जानकारी है वो उसका फायदा उठाते हैं. ये वैसे हमारी स्कीम्स भी होता है. गवर्नमेंट स्कीम कहीं भी हो, जो जानकार है उसको वो ही नोज हाउ टू टेप इट. जो अनजान है उसके लिए तो कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है जो है. 7. The corporate houses also prefer to locate the projects in the states of their head or major office. It partly explains higher CSR investment in states like Maharashtra, Gujarat and Karnataka. So one reason here Mittal Saab has explained is that because the corporate houses are also in Gujarat, Maharashtra and all that. So they want to do more. Actually there are state governments have also to be very, very active. I know in Uttarakhand the government said, government or state government gave a direction that all those industries who are working in Uttarakhand should do CSR in Uttarakhand in the area around they are working. So then what is happening? Then the industries think Hero, Mahindra, they will think of the areas around, yaar kahan jaye? They will not go to UP, they will not go to Bihar. This is the problem. Chale, next. What we should do to increase CSR investment in elder care? Wo to problem hai. That is a problem so far. Then what should be done? That is the main. Now, abhi tak to what is the disease? But now what to do? That is what Mittal Saab has given lot of suggestion. Number 1, according to the present procedure, there are 3 distinct groups, namely the senior citizens as the beneficiaries. That is what we talked. We will be the beneficiaries. The corporate houses as the financier, paisa kahan se aayega? Corporate houses. And the NGOs and trusts as the implementing. So in between is the NGO which has to implement it. So these are the three steps of this ladder. Number 2, senior citizens are expected to prepare the projects required by them and place them on CSR portal of MCA. एक requirement है. We want to have a good project report of an old age home or say for example a day care center. We make the report and put it on the CSR portal of MCA. So then what is happening? All these implementing agencies look into that portal. Oh, here is this. Let me go and implement it. So people will come forward. That's what it says. Senior citizens are expected to prepare the projects required by them and place them on CSR portal of MCA. A corporate house selects a project. Corporate house will select a project from the MCA portal which belongs to the cause they want to support and can be executed within the funds available. देखिए कुछ लोग चाहते हैं कि हम एल्डरलीज को करें, कुछ लोग कहते हैं हम कैंसर पेशेंट्स को करें, कुछ बोलते हैं विडोज को करें, तो वो पोर्टल में जाएगा. पोर्टल से हमें जब हम अपना प्रोजेक्ट पोर्टल में दे लेंगे तो लोग उसको देखेंगे, वहां से हमारा फिर एक्शन स्टार्ट होगा. Sometimes the implementing NGOs also pick up a project and look for a corporate house to implement it. Since there are limited number of, अच्छा, this is one possibility. अब कोई NGO who is in this business of implementing for reasons of money or no, for social service, whatever, it can be both ways. So they look what is there in the portal, they take up that, they go to the bigger Reliance, they will go to TCS, they will go to ICICI Bank. Sir, here is the project, please help us. So they also help. Since there are limited number of implementing NGOs and trusts, their choice of the project often prevails, which is generally in the field of health and education. अभी तक तो ये easy हो गया है, health and education. So ये implementing agencies are not widespread. They are also not knowing that there is some senior care project can be there. किसी को पता ही नहीं है कि हमारे इंडिया में डिमेंशिया सेंटर्स होने चाहिए. डिमेंशिया बीमारी बढ़ गई है. अगर डिमेंशिया सेंटर होगा, जो अब्रॉड में हमने देखा है, तो दिन में डिमेंशिया के पेशेंट वहां जाते हैं, वहां बैठते हैं, शाम को घर जाते हैं. क्यों नहीं खोलें? गवर्नमेंट दे देगा, बट वी हैव टू मेक अ रिपोर्ट ऑन दैट. That is often the reason why they are getting overwhelming support. So this is what Mittal Saab has observed, why ये इतना support इनके लिए क्यों है, education, health के लिए. So let's go. The solution to this problem will be threefold. Now what is the solution? Number 1, senior citizens organizations should get themselves registered on CSR portal as beneficiaries. So we have to register in the MCA portal. Portal है, आजकल यही चलता है. आजकल we cannot say कि हम पेपर बना देंगे, वो फिर गवर्नमेंट वो जाएगा. No, let it go to the portal. Those who are qualified should also get registered as implementing agents. You can draw the CSR fund, but you can also say, I will implement the CSR fund. Large number of elder care projects should be prepared and placed on the CSR portal. The corporates complain that they don't find any elder care projects on the portal. ऐसा हुआ है, हमने अभी मित्तल साहब ने कुछ साल पहले यहाँ पर कॉन्फ्रेंस की, एंड उस वक्त कुछ NMDC के लोग आए थे और भी कुछ लोग आए थे, तो उन्होंने बोला हमें तो पता ही नहीं, ऐसी जरूरत है. So we have to educate these companies, corporates. भैया this is the requirement, and we are also in that annexure जो है इसमें एक्ट में हमारा है. So please give us and we are ready with the report. Next, more NGOs should be got registered, particularly from the states which are at present neglected as far as CSR investment. उसका तो एक यही तरीका है, एजुकेशन. जो आज का ये वर्कशॉप है, दिस इज वन ब्यूटीफुल वे ऑफ स्प्रेडिंग द एजुकेशन. हमें अवेयरनेस बढ़ाना है. अगर हम बोलेंगे घर बैठे मुझे पैसा आ जाए, वो नहीं होगा. इसके लिए हमें उठना पड़ेगा, कुछ समझना पड़ेगा, वो प्रोसीजर अडॉप्ट करना पड़ेगा और आ जाएगा. ऐसी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. As regards the project belonging to the second category, that is the ones which require large capital and long time for execution, some flexibility has to be granted to the corporate house. That means we have to give them some more time. ज़्यादा पैसा है तो उसको 2 साल 3 साल टाइम तो करना ही पड़ेगा. It's also possible that the organization which is proposing such a project is not capable of running it or maintaining it after it is executed, like an old age home. In such a situation, the state or the central government have to step in. ऐसा भी हुआ है, लोगों ने फंड्स ले लिए, बना दिया एक फिजियोथेरेपी. आई विल टेल यू वन, रुड़की में एक फिजियोथेरेपी सेंटर बन गया, फिर तो चलाना भी है ना, उसकी जिम्मेवारी होनी चाहिए. उसमें गवर्नमेंट को भी ख्याल रखना चाहिए, मॉनिटरिंग होनी चाहिए, और जिन्होंने फंड्स लिए उनकी भी जिम्मेवारी है. ये नहीं कि पैसा ले लिया, कुछ बना दिया, फिर क्या वो ऑर्नामेंट है क्या? उसमें तो चलना चाहिए, सस्टेन होना चाहिए. The ideal solution to these problems would be to have a body consisting of the neglected causes which are to be promoted, and this body should guide the corporate houses in the choice of the cause. They should support keeping the need of the state in mind. This will lead to uniform need-based development of our country. Well, this can be a recommendation. हमको भी कुछ करना है, गवर्नमेंट को भी कुछ करना है, दोनों जगह करना है. ये नहीं कि ये नहीं हो सकता है. अब मित्तल साहब का क्या है हमारे लिए संदेश? दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. द पार्टिसिपेंट्स शुड टेक द मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट्स फ्रॉम दिस वर्कशॉप इन टर्म्स ऑफ आइडेंटिफाइंग द गैप्स टू प्री क्वालिफाई फॉर बिकमिंग एन इंप्लीमेंटिंग एजेंसी फॉर CSR प्रोजेक्ट. अगर हमें ये इंप्लीमेंट करना है तो उसके लिए क्या करना है, यहां पर हमें समझना है. इट वुड कॉल फॉर फुलफिलिंग द प्रोसीजर रिक्वायरमेंट. उसके क्या क्या प्रोसीजर है वो देखना है. And competent resource building either in the house or through association with other organizations. दूसरे, अगर जो चीज पता नहीं है, दूसरों से मदद ले लो ना, एजेंट से ले लो, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से ले लो, बट ये मत सोचो कि मुझे नहीं आता तो दूसरे का मदद ले. All those who are economically sound, secure and blessed with good health should identify the deserving elderly as prime beneficiaries for conceptualizing the CSR scheme. Addressing the people from unorganized sectors would be desirable. This is in line with the main focus of this workshop. इस वर्कशॉप का जो फोकस है वो यही है. अब मित्तल साहब का हम सब के लिए क्या है? Make the best use of time for hands-on experience of working on such a endeavor. मित्तल साहब कितने इंटरेस्टेड हैं कि CSR एजुकेशन इन्होंने स्टार्ट किया AISCCON में. He was the first chairman. इन्होंने 2013-14 से ही स्टार्ट किया AISCCON में, भैया एल्डरलीज को कुछ CSR का फंडिंग हो जाए. बहुत मेहनत किया इन्होंने, तो इसलिए वो बोल रहे हैं हमको अब आगे बढ़ना है. ये जो आज है, देखिए किस कंडीशन में, हेल्थ इज नॉट वेल बट स्टिल ही केम हियर. आपके पास जो बैग्स हैं ये मित्तल साहब ने दिए हैं, और कितना उनके मन में है कि हमें इसका फायदा उठाना चाहिए. अगर 25,000 है तो उसका 1% ही एल्डरली केयर को आ जाए तो वो भी तो 250 करोड़ होगा एक साल का. बहुत कुछ होगा, बहुत कुछ. ओल्ड एज होम बन सकते हैं, डे केयर सेंटर बन सकते हैं, डिमेंशिया केयर सेंटर, ये होता है ना ओल्ड केयर गिवर्स की जरूरत है, केयर गिवर्स इंस्टीट्यूट हो सकते हैं, लाइक दैट. देन नेक्स्ट Affiliates of AISCCON should continue to sensitize the state governments on various policy issues, shortcomings in the promises made by government, and AISCCON should take up the issues of our concern at national level through consultative process with our affiliates. वो जो एडवोकेसी है AISCCON की, ये शुड कंटिन्यू. देखिए, वो जो गवर्नमेंट को करना है वहां भी हमें मांगना ही है, बोलना है, क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, बट यहां पर भी हमें काम खुद करना है. This forum is an ideal situation to deliberate, munch, and come to some specific concepts of programs, projects that could be undertaken at national level under the brand of AISCCON. This CSR committee should take up with organizations like CII, जो अभी हमारे साथ बैठे हैं CII के, FICCI, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, to constitute a body to analyze the issues of concerns to elderly segment of society and come out with recommendations to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Corporate Houses, and Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, aimed at improving the lives of seniors, predominantly prudent for the unorganized sectors of our economy. अब एल्डरलीज को क्यों CSR नहीं मिल रहा है, इस बारे में गवर्नमेंट ने एक स्टेप लिया था. वो ये था कि एक एजेंसी अपॉइंट करेंगे जो ये बड़े बड़े फंड्स के घर में उनके ऑफिस में जाएगा, उनको बता देगा भाई एल्डरलीज को दे दो. एक टेंडर हुआ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट में. Myself and Mr. Gupta, we went to Shastri Bhavan. We checked up on that. The concerned official said, sir, we have given a tender, but tender was not good, so we have kept it on the shelf. And हमने तो PMO ऑफिस में भेज दिया था, वहां से भी कोई जवाब नहीं आया. So this is the problem, indifference. So actually there is a requirement by the interference by the government to give an advisory. There must be an agency. We should go to the corporate houses and tell them, you are giving so much. Reliance is giving as high as 850 to 1,000 crores a year. So our HDFC is giving, ICICI is giving, TCS is giving, Hindustan, this Zinc, Vedanta is giving. So all these people are to be told by one direction by some person, please consider elderly. That's all. There is nothing else. But that agency has to be fixed up. Next. So that's all. I think Mittal Saab has these concerns and this. I'm grateful to Mittal Saab for giving me the chance. मैं सिर्फ संजय बन गया और कुछ नहीं. Thank you very much.
आप जो यहाँ पे काम करेंगे वो आपको यहाँ पे 100 लोग काम करेंगे और आपको 1 लाख लोग वॉच करेंगे कि आप कर क्या रहे हैं. यहाँ गप मार रहे हैं या यहाँ पे कुछ दिमाग चला रहे हैं या यहाँ पे चाय पी के चुस्की लेके मस्ती कर रहे हैं, पकोड़े खा रहे हैं बरसात में. तो ये आपको भी वॉच कर रहे हैं. तो आप यहाँ पे बैठ के ये मत सोचिए कि मेरे पास क्या हो रहा है. हर एक आदमी को 50 आदमी अभी वॉच कर रहे हैं. तो ये चीज आप घर में उनको बताइए. और ये आइकॉन यहाँ पर है, जितना इसको पब्लिसाइज करेंगे उतना अच्छा रहेगा और उतने सवाल वो उठेंगे और उतने लोग वहाँ पे सोचेंगे, उतने लोगों का माइंड इग्नाइट होगा. कहने का मतलब ये है कि आप जो 100 लोग हैं वो 1 लाख लोगों के एम्बेसडर हैं. आजकल सोशल मीडिया का जमाना है, तो एक आदमी जो है, मोदी जी जो है, वो पता नहीं कितने करोड़ों को एड्रेस करते हैं. तो आप 100 को कम से कम 2-4 लाख को एड्रेस कर दीजिए. ये सेकेंड रिक्वेस्ट है. इसके बाद में थर्ड रिक्वेस्ट है, वो ये है कि यहाँ पर जितने भी प्रेजेंटेशन हुए हैं अभी तक, जो आपने प्रेजेंटेशन देखे हैं और आगे भी जो प्रेजेंटेशन देखेंगे, वो सारे के सारे 1 हफ्ते के अंदर इसी वेबसाइट में अपलोड हो जाएंगे. तो यहाँ पे आपको प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए परेशान नहीं होना है, उसको कुछ सोचना नहीं है. ये जितने स्लाइड्स यहाँ दिखाई गई हैं इसकी एक फाइल बनाई जाएगी और ये फिर बना के 1 हफ्ते के अंदर में फिर यही AISCCON में वेबसाइट में न्यूज़ और इवेंट्स के अंदर में अपलोड हो जाएगी. तो आप उसको आराम से आगे भी पढ़ सकते हैं. ये तो हो गया एक वेबसाइट का. दूसरी वेबसाइट है दूसरी वेबसाइट है. अब इसमें अगर कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आप हाथ खड़ा कीजिए, नहीं तो मैं दूसरी वेबसाइट बताऊं. हाँ जी, YouTube में लिंक वहीं पर AISCCON न्यूज में जाइए, फर्स्ट डे का मॉर्निंग लिखा हुआ है फर्स्ट, वहां पे डबल क्लिक कीजिए, आप अपने आप YouTube में ले जाएगा. आपको वो अपने आप ले जाएगा. 2 बार क्लिक कीजिए, वो वहीं पे अपने आप ले जाएगा. 1 बार क्लिक करेंगे तो नहीं होगा, वहीं पर जाएंगे, 2 बार क्लिक कीजिए। डबल क्लिक करेंगे तो आप अपने आप वो आपको वहां से यूट्यूब में ले जाएगा। आपको और कुछ नहीं करना है, वहां पे 2 बार क्लिक करना है। लेकिन पहले दिन का अभी मॉर्निंग सेशन चल रहा है, वो बंद हो जाएगा 1:30 बजे, 2:30 बजे फिर दूसरा जब शुरू होगा तो 2:30 बजे डबल क्लिक करना है। तो ये यहाँ पर ही नहीं, हिंदुस्तान में आपके अगर बच्चे कहीं फॉरेन में बैठे हैं तो वहाँ पर भी आप फ़ोन कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि ईमेल का ज़माना है, उसमें लिखा रहता है एनी टाइम एनीवेयर। तो उसमें कोई टाइम का वो लिमिटेशन नहीं है, वो कहीं पर भी आप धरती पर हैं, जहाँ पर नेट अवेलेबल है वहाँ पर वो देख सकता है, चाहे अफ्रीका हो, चाहे साउथ अमेरिका हो, चाहे ऑस्ट्रेलिया हो, चाहे यूरोप हो, जो भी हो। तो अगर आपके बच्चे हैं, हम लोगों ने एलुमनी का प्रोग्राम किया था और उसमें हम लोग के गोल्डन जुबली सेलिब्रेशन में 1600 बच्चे यूएस और यूरोप में वो प्रोग्राम एंजॉय किया, जबकि हमारी अपनी गैदरिंग में मुश्किल से हम लोग 37 लोग थे 1972 के पास आउट्स। चेंज, CHANGE, मतलब CSR एक्सचेंज, एक्सचेंज का उन्होंने एक्स कर दिया है, तो CSR exchange.gov.in ये गवर्नमेंट की है और ये मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स की है। तो इस वेबसाइट का नाम है www.csrxchange, CHANG, मतलब एक्सचेंज को उन्होंने एक्स बना दिया है, CSRxCHANG.gov.in। तो ये वेबसाइट जो है ये मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स की है। इसमें जब से CSR पैदा हुआ और अभी क्या है और उसमें कितनी पॉलिसीज हैं, तो ये वेबसाइट को पढ़ने के लिए आप अगर रोज 3 घंटा पढ़ेंगे तो आपको कम से कम 1 महीना समय लगेगा। रोज अगर आप 3 घंटा पढ़ेंगे तो, ज्यादा नहीं कह रहा हूं क्योंकि ज्यादा कहने से फिर बोलेंगे कि आप इतना स्क्रीन देखते हो, उम्र हो गई है। तो कम से कम 3 घंटा देखिए। वेबसाइट नंबर है www.CSRxCHANGE.gov.in। ये मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स की वेबसाइट है और इसमें जब से CSR पैदा हुआ है और उसमें जितने नोटिफिकेशंस हुए हैं और जितनी पॉलिसीज हैं और जितने रेगुलेशंस हैं वो सब के सब लिखे हुए हैं। उसमें हमारे ज्ञान देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, आपको सिर्फ ज्यादा समय नहीं लगाना है, 3 घंटा रोज और 1 महीना। तो उससे आपको एक तो पता चलेगा कि पैदा से लेके अभी तक क्या हुआ, दूसरा पता चलेगा कि अभी जो है जितने कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेस हैं उनके लिए कंपलसरी हो गया है कि वो अपनी वेबसाइट में ये बताएंगे कि वो कौन से CSR प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं। तो आज के दिन में वहां पर 7,000 से लेके 8,000 तक CSR प्रोजेक्ट्स जो हैं वो घूम रहे हैं गोल गोल। तो वो 7,000 से 8,000 प्रोजेक्ट जो हैं वो आप उसमें पढ़ सकते हैं कि वो प्रोजेक्ट हैं क्या। मतलब उस प्रोजेक्ट में वो एजुकेशन में है कि अब जैसे न्यूट्रिशन में है, तो न्यूट्रिशन का मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो सीनियर सिटीजन के लिए न्यूट्रिशन नहीं है। न्यूट्रिशन प्रोजेक्ट हमेशा हम सोचते हैं कि वो बच्चों के लिए ही होगा स्कूल में, बूढ़ों के लिए क्यों नहीं होगा भाई। आप न्यूट्रिशन प्रोजेक्ट तो लगा सकते हैं ना मिस्टर अविनाश।
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. See, do you have any idea about the CSR, what CSR is?
Yes, some of us know very well.
Okay. Okay. CSR, most of the people think that the CSR is donations and the charity. No, it is not the charity, it is not the donations, it is not giving and taking. It is not even one-time event also, like marathons or for summits, some workshops, we cannot donate to those things. CSR is meant for the long-term projects. it should create some change in the community. It should have some impact over the social change. Then only it is called the CSR. Whether it is corporates or philanthropists or someone else do also, it should have a long-term projects or programs. It is not single event. So please plan in such a way, either a project or a program for more than 3 years. Then only we will consider under the CSR. Just if you come and say that we want to construct something in our area and give me the donation, then it doesn't fall under the CSR. Okay? So coming to the senior citizens, I don't want to say that the senior citizens are vulnerable. Okay? Senior citizens are knowledge banks. Okay? They are the resource persons. They are the resource centers. Youngsters doesn't know the language, doesn't know the knowledge what you have. But the thing is, there is a lot of gap between the youngsters and the seniors. To build that gap, the seniors are required, and at the same time, seniors also should learn from the youngsters. Because the younger generation are growing like anything, they are coming with new knowledge, which the seniors doesn't know. I don't know whether you agree or not, but we should. Yes, what the knowledge that we have as a senior citizen is something different. That is one side of the coin. The other side is some technology, new innovations. So many things are coming up in the other side. That there is a bridge between the youngsters and the seniors. So we have to bridge that gap. There we can get the CSR projects into that to bridge all those things. Okay. One side we want to take the knowledge from the seniors to the youngsters in perspective of values, customs, traditions, religion, or whatever you say, that is community development. And other side we have to get the technology from the youngsters to the seniors. See, this is, youngsters are growing one side and the seniors' knowledge is lying in the bank. So we want to tap that bank knowledge to the youngsters. How we do that? That is one thing. Means we need your services. You have to be on your toes and you have to open your antennas. Until you open your antennas, we don't get the new knowledge. Though I have 30 years of experience, I am not familiar with all these laptops and the new technology, whatever that the youngsters are doing. My son is faster than me. Then what for my experience? It's a waste. So I have to go, if I want to be on this competition, means I have to grow according to the requirement. That is more important before writing any projects. So getting the projects, doing the project is okay, we will do. But we have to go according to the corporate requirements. See, now the corporates wants quick results, easy impact, easy social change. They don't understand the community development. They want the things to be done on the earth. So how to do? That's why most of the corporates, they are doing only the constructions. Construction of the school, construction of the hospital, construction of something, so which can be seen immediately, and they were saying that is the CSR. Toilet. Yes, we will construct the toilets. Then who will clean that? Who is going to clean? Who is going to maintain? Is there the water or not? And how they are using it? Without cleaning person, without running water, though you construct a good toilets, it's of no use. So, the underlying root causes of the requirement we have to understand. See, even for the senior citizens, we have lot of projects. People think that there are no projects in the CSR. No, there are projects in the CSR. I have done in the previous job also. See, fundamentally 3 things, major requirement for the elders, whether we agree or not. One is food security, second is mental health, third is physical health. Physical health, mental health, and food security. See, here whoever is sitting are above middle class, I think, and most of them are business or service oriented person. And this CSR is not meant for the above middle class or the middle class. This is meant for the below poverty, the poor people who are dependents, for them only the CSR is applicable, not for the rich people. But the rich people can write the proposal to the corporates and you can get the project to work for the lower class or, not lower class, lower economic status people, okay? Yes, deserving people. See, if you take the vulnerability index of a family in the poverty, one person will be breadwinner and number of people will be the dependents. Or wife and husband will be the breadwinners and the other rest of them are dependents. Of course, they feed for the children, but they don't want to neglect the parents, but still the circumstances make them to avoid them. I don't say that they don't take care of the parents, but the situation makes them like that. So they give less importance to the parents or in-laws or for the elder people or the grandmothers and the grandfathers. So in that situation, what is that the CSR role plays there? Food security. Minimum, though they get the pension money is not sufficient for them for 3 meals or 2 meals, at least 2 meals. They are getting around 2,600 or 2,800 something for the pension. So at that pension also, there are some restrictions. Only one person in the family will get, not the 2 people. There are so many things. There are so many vacuous constraints to get the pension also. So in that case, the food security plays a major role. At least you can write a proposal to the corporates on the food security. Don't say that some charity to be given to the old age people. Nobody will give that. So write a proposal for the food security. Food security includes dry ration, cooked food, whatever the food that you want to give, or special nutrition for the elderly people, or geriatric nutrition for the people, or therapeutic nutrition for the people, or community nutrition to the people. See, only food means general, you think that it is only the rice, dal and something related to the food. No, that's not required for the elder people. Say, you need therapeutic nutrition. Therapeutic nutrition means generally when you cross 60s, 70s, one thing or the other, some diseases will be there, either sugar or BP or some problems will be there. So you have to take care of that, means you need some special diet also according to your requirements. So that is called the therapeutic diet. So you have to plan and design according to the requirement of your community. Whether you want to go for a community food security, then write a common thing which is required for the entire community for the old age people. Or if you want to tackle with the special diseases, then you go for a proposal called therapeutic nutrition program. Or if you want to give both mixed together, if your villages are so big and if you want to serve the large number of people, then go for the food security projects. So you should learn this. You may be good at what diet should you give to the elder people, but you have to learn what is therapeutic nutrition, what is community nutrition, what is the general food security. These are the terms and these are the things that you have to learn, and accordingly you have to write the proposal to the CSR. Then definitely the corporates will understand, okay, therapeutic nutrition, why these people have written the therapeutic nutrition, means in that community maybe most of the people having the fluoride problem or arthritis problem or sugar problem. Then why? What are the reasons for that? Is it because of your water problem, or because of your food problem, or because of hybrid aging is one thing. Aging you can't avoid that, but there are other things you can avoid that. Safe drinking water. Because of safe drinking water, you can avoid the fluorosis or some arthritis problem, some problems related to the bones. And sugar problem, some food problems might leading to the diabetics. So you can support that. So in the therapeutic nutrition, you can write all those underlying root causes. Means you are asking the corporate not only for your food security, you are asking for the other necessities. Suppose there some cement factories are there, or some factories which are polluting the groundwater, and because of that water it is leading to some fluorosis or some arthritis, some bone problems or deformation, something. So because of that we are getting these diseases. So give me the safe drinking water, give me the food. So this way that you have to know the underlying root causes as well as the present problem of the community, and then you put it in a different way of proposals to the corporates, they'll agree for it. This is the way how you have to write the food security things. Any doubt or any question for me regarding this? Do you agree with this? Is it okay? Sir.
Most of the time, senior citizens are not able to take their food because of their physical problems. That like Mr. Word, maybe has a mental problem. and has
Yes.
some other hearing problem,
Yes.
vision problem.
Yes.
All this is together. You have to get sick.
Yes. So while writing the proposal, you should do the baseline survey. So baseline survey, in that survey you will get all these problems. Why that people, what are the age groups, 60 to 70 or 70 to 80 or 80 to 90. So what are the things that are leading not to take the food? Maybe dental problem. Then you can request dental camps to the senior citizens to give the dental, to solve the dental problems. Okay, if it is related to the ENT, you can ask the CSR people to give the ENT support.
Sir, can I start?
Okay, let us give once again a big hand to Dr. Ramesh, and let us look forward to his address.
So, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure being with you, and I'm seeing a lot of a different group that I'm addressing. Usually we address government officials, panchayat presidents, BDOs, young children. That's also a privilege for me to talk to a different group. Normally we work with NGOs, we train NGOs on this matter. The corporate social responsibility, as I was asked to speak, and how it can work in rural development, that is my topic. So I'll just quickly talk upon few aspects. Please. Yeah. Madam, next. అచ్చా మీకు రాదా ఇక్కడ వేసుకోండి, ఇట్ సైడ్ ది లైట్ ఆన్ చేసుకోండి. మీకేం కావాలి వేసుకోండి. సో ఓహో ఓకే ఫైన్. ఐ థింక్ ఇట్ సైడ్ ఏదైనా ఆఫ్ చేయొచ్చు అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఇది ఒకటి. ఇట్స్ ఫైన్, ఇట్స్ ఫైన్. రావట్లేదా? ఓకే ఓకే, యా. So, as you all know, corporate social responsibility is a big upcoming, maybe you can say, opportunity to change people's life in India. Government of India anyway spends crores of rupees, but the international funding which comes from other countries used to be something like 15,000 crore per annum, around. It is even less some years. More so nowadays, it's becoming a problem. So the NGO sector is finding it difficult, but at the same time, the CSR funding, which used to be very small, is growing and it's touching 25,000 crores annum. So it's a big opportunity to tap CSR funding without much difficulty. Normally, when you want to seek funding from a foreign donor, you have to have FCRA, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, lot of due diligence. Their ask is big. They say, what size of your organization? Who are you? Are you IIM? Are you somebody from a top reputed institute? I mean, this kind of questions. And always, I worked in the sector for last 20-25 years before coming to NIRD. I was with WaterAid, Save the Children, UNICEF. So like that, I was in different donor agencies, and normally they touch upon big, वो जो रेस के घोड़े होते हैं ना, जो ऑलरेडी जो चल रहा है उसी में पैसा लगाएंगे, ताकि they don't fail. They don't like to work with upcoming new people. They don't risk. So that is a problem in normal development funding. But whereas CSR is quite flexible, but only thing is you have to buy in the company's, what you call, trust. They should trust you and you should prove. Otherwise, the gap is not that much. It's very easy once you know them, they know you, they know that you spend wisely and you are successfully doing the CSR project. It's very easy. Any common organization can get into that mode than the foreign funding. Foreign funding, it is a big ball game and you will not be able to reach anywhere in that domain. So it's a big opportunity for the association to really look into it, and all of you must have worked with some PSUs, some private top corporates, so your own members may be there who have worked and they can better put in a word and then try to mediate and negotiate. But first of all, whether you are ready to undertake such a change in your organization, the association should devise such plans and then proceed. And also, one of the bigger opportunity for me, like personally, if you ask me, normally any organization working like an NGO, others have lot of overheads because they have to pay salaries. They have to have a lot of other requirements to run an NGO or something. But in your case, you are not looking for salaries per se, I would say. You are trying to look at your contribution to the society. You all are pensioners or you are all worked, and you don't need such a big salary. Like normally a NGO worker 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakhs per month, or bigger NGOs like Save the Children and all must be paying 4 or 5 lakh. So for their staff, and they have to run projects with that kind of staff, which may not be the case with the association. Probably it's much easier that you have some working hands and you can all drive the program at a very lower budgetary allocation, so that the project effectiveness can be better and all of you are competent, and you don't need big training like normally the youngsters require. Youngsters normally require a lot of training before they get into work, but in your case it's very easy. Only thing is you need to understand which areas we should impact on, which areas we should select. So that's an advantage with the association. When I got the call from Bahrani Saab, then I said, I was thinking what could be the best way to you can impact. So I think probably you can your selling point can be that you have the experience, you have the managerial skill. Only thing is you just need couple of working hands and then the project can be delivered much fast.
स्लाइड वेट आपके बचपन में मी चिन्नप्पुडु जब आप बच्चे थे, अरे हिंदी में है ना, इंग्लिश में, व्हेन यू आर ए चाइल्ड डैश, कोई त्योहार हुआ है, दिवाली मान के चलो, दिवाली सब जगह दिवाली मनाते हैं, दिवाली मनाते हैं ना, अंदर दिवाली చేసుకుంటాం కదా, दिवाली मनाते हैं ना. तो दिवाली के दिन आई थी, आइए, पूरा तैयारी आपने की, మొత్తం పనంతా మీరే చేసిర్రు, सब काम आप लोग ने किया. एवरी सेलिब्रेशन का जो डेकोरेशन, वॉट एवर डेकोरेशन हैज टू बी मेड, ऑल दैट हैज बीन मेड बाय यू एंड योर पेरेंट्स. आपके आई वडील, आपके माँ बाप, सबके लिए कुछ ना कुछ कपड़े, स्वीट, ये वो लेके आए, लेकिन आपके लिए कुछ नहीं मिला. Your parents brought everything for others, but you, the person who's done everything for that festival, they didn't bring anything for you. How do you feel? आपको कैसा महसूस होगा? మీకు ఎట్లా అనిపిస్తుంది? तुम्हाला कसा वाटेल? हाँ? अपसेट होते. हाँ?
इसमें जो आपके सवाल हैं ये सर्वेश गुप्ता जी से आप अभी समझ लीजिए, क्योंकि 5-7 मिनट में हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे, लेकिन जिन्होंने इसको पढ़ लिया है और उसके बाद में जो आपके मन में सवाल हैं वो आप अभी गुप्ता जी से समझ लीजिए. आप खड़े होकर बोलिए कि मेरे को ये पॉइंट नहीं समझ में आया, 1 या 2 या 3, 5 या जो भी आपको क्वेश्चन है, तो वो गुप्ता जी आपको अभी क्लेरिफाई कर देंगे. ठीक है. और ये फॉर्मेट कहाँ पर मिलेगा, क्या मिलेगा, ये मैं आपको अभी प्रोग्राम शुरू करेंगे तो सब बता दूंगा.
Anyone having questions on this schedule 7 may please come up to Mr. Sarvesh Gupta, he will explain.
You can just ask there. I will explain.
Or you can ask from your place. Hello.
So that it is for everybody. Convenience.
आप वहीं से खड़े होकर क्वेश्चन पूछिए तो गुप्ता जी बता दें. मैं आप लोगों के लिए पढ़ देता हूँ. ये दो जो हम लोगों ने yesterday we mentioned a website csrxchange.gov.in. घर जाके ये वेबसाइट को आप ओपन कीजिए, उसमें आपको CSR का सब इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगा. CSRX CHXX CHANGE. CHANGE. हम फिर बोल रहे हैं CSRX X CHANGE.gov.in. When
It is CSR exchange.
उसमें लिख सकता है
Except that E has been removed from that.
मार्कर.
CSR exchange. E
Okay.
has been removed.
Okay. I will. Right, you will get what all the corporate houses are putting the CSR schemes. There are more than 7,000 companies, and what they are putting, that information is.
Hello.
That information is changing every day. That information is changing. So you have to watch that website regularly. I mean, every second day, third day, you have to see that. What is changing? Everything is dynamic. It is not एक बार देख लिया तो हो गया. No. Now, in that you will find there is a section 135. In that website also, ये paper आपको वहाँ से भी मिल जाएगा. 135 section is there. That is talking of CSR in the Indian Companies Act. When you go to that section 135, there you will get Schedule 7. Schedule 7 जो है, that is the real thing which you have to keep in mind and read every time and see what projects can fit into this. What we have distributed, one page now. This one page you have to read. Now I will read it for you. In this document, you will find that there are item-wise written here. Number 1, which is talking of eradicating hunger, poverty, malnutrition. Then the interesting part is preventive health. So we are talking of healthcare, diagnosis, and we are talking of treatment. But if you have something in mind for preventive health, that means before somebody, falls sick, So there, if you want to do something on preventive health, that wo bimar na pade, if you have something in your mind, that also is covered. Now, the second is promoting education, including education which improves the employment. So it is not necessary to have the education for the purpose of degree, but also which can increase the employment. So there are many types of educations, there are many types of skills which not necessarily can give you a degree from a college, but it can give you a job. So you can cover that also under CSR. That means you are teaching somebody something which may not give him a degree, college degree or something, but still it gives an employment. That is also equally important. So you have to increase your thinking that what all can get covered in this CSR. Then it also says the education for elderly. So what we have been talking, that it is not covered, we are not bothered, nobody, but it is not like that. The promoting education, including employment for you, elderly, is covered. Now it is a matter of our thinking ki what education can you give to an elderly, which can give him either employment or which can give him some other satisfaction, like digital literacy. So you have to think on these lines. This is your Bible. This is where you have to fit in. Then it also says livelihood enhancement. That means on the livelihood projects, whatever improvements you can do. The third is you can empower women. You can set up the homes and hostels for the women and orphans. And then setting up the old age homes. Like what we talked 2 days back, that in Calcutta, the number of single women is far more. And because the men and women, the age difference is much more. So women live longer, and the men, because he is 10 years or 12 years marriage age gap, so they go faster up. So there, this is quite relevant, but you can also see. Then it also says you can see measures for reducing the inequalities. So inequalities जो है समाज में, जो आपको नजर आती हैं, whatever you see that somebody is too rich, somebody is too weak, somebody is destitute. So if you have something in mind which can, reduce that kind of thing, like we are saying digital literacy. So what is happening is this digital literacy is reducing the gap between the younger generation and older people. Because the younger generation are digitally highly literate, we are not that literate. So when we are being taught digital, so the gap between young and us is reducing on digital side. So the bridging the gaps. So whatever you can think of this bridging the gaps is also covered, or the inequalities in the socially and economically backward groups. So you have to think who is socially backward and who is economically backward. So that scheme should fit into those kind of things. So that is where it says. The next one is number 4, environmental sustainability. Now, whatever we talked 2 days back, that many industries create pollution, and then the pollution creates problem and we don't solve. So if you have something to say on the environmental sustainability, how to go about it, those also covered. Ecological balance. There also you have a rich knowledge. So this is quite different from what all we have been talking, old age home, healthcare, education and all that. So ecology is also covered. Protection of flora and fauna. The next is animal welfare. Yesterday, Yamla ji gave an example that I want to do something, this plastic packaging material is being consumed by the animals. And because the community is not taking care of, proper segregation of the waste, and they buy something, put it in plastic and throw on the road. And when it gets thrown, the animal consumes it. and then it creates a problem because animals become sick, and then you have a problem. Those who people who own those animals, like अगर किसी के पास गाय है, भैंस है, तो वो अगर खा लिया, तो वो फिर हमारे लिए घर का प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. तो that kind of a project can get into animal welfare. So agroforestry, conservation of natural resources, maintaining quality of soil, air and water. This water we discuss in Rajasthan, wherever this granite and marble mines are there, the water quality is a serious problem. So there can be a serious problem in the water qualities somewhere around you also. So these are the number 4. Number 5 is the protection of national heritage. Now this is so totally something different. Away. But you can, if you have something on this, you can get into that. Art and culture. Art and culture. So culture also, there's a lot of things. Art also, there are a lot of things. Restoration of buildings and sites of historical importance. Setting of public libraries. Now this is quite interesting. You don't have to do anything. If you have something in mind, you can set up a library in your village or in your town, and that also can fall in under CSR. So you think, I mean, whatever we have been talking of getting from the welfare and charity, those two things are totally different. In charity, we talk old age home, senior citizen, physical, physiotherapy, etc., etc., etc. And I'm not getting railway concession, I'm not getting this from ministry. वो वाला दिमाग को बंद कर देना है. Because if you keep that mind open, you will vent out many frustrations, and then CSR will not be coming. So वो वाला जो chapter है book को अभी फिलहाल close कर देना है. When you talk CSR, because in CSR you are talking to the corporate houses. You are not talking to the ministry, not railways, not anybody political or anything of that kind, right? Then public library, development of traditional art and handicrafts. So in handicraft, we talked many things about rural places in Chhattisgarh, Northeast, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan and everything. So can we do something on that? That is also covered. Number 6, benefits to the armed forces veterans, war widows, dependents. This is also under CSR. Number 7, promotion of the rural sports. Now, if you see the TV, every time you see that the sports in Punjab and Chhattisgarh are very much visible. So the Chief Minister are taking advantage of it. But you can also get into these rural sports if you want to organize, if you want to get into this thing.